And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. If you guys are new to us here on Amazon.com, welcome. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. You'll see it either here in this corner or down below. You also see the book by our next guest. We're excited to welcome back Tracy Glass to our broadcast today. You remember Tracy, she's the author of this book, Get Up, Girl, Let's Go. Tracy, I was noticing I was doing my prep work, though. You have another book that's here on Amazon, too, your devotional, All Things New. That's available too for our audience. You'll see it in the carousel there here on Amazon. We also want to welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Glad you could join us. We're going to talk to Tracy not only about what it's been like for her to do work that she loves and sharing her own story, but also empowering other women as well. She's been able to do that through coaching. We'll talk to her about that and let you guys know how to stay connected with her as well. But Tracy, welcome back to the broadcast. Good to see you again.
Great to see you, Cyrus. It's always a pleasure whenever I have an opportunity to just connect with you and your audience. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And this year we get to do that in a variety of ways. So I'm excited about that. You have definitely hit 2024 with running, Tracy. As I mentioned, of course, you've been continuing to share your own message and to be able to feed into people that way. But also, as I mentioned, as a coach as well, being able to empower and inspire women as well. What has it been like for you to see the way that this year is starting off for you?
You know, it's been liberating in a way
Mm,
because I'll say this that I feel like 2023 had been a year where I was just going really fast.
mm,
I was sowing a lot of seeds, I'll put it that way. And so 2024, I'm resting a little bit to see the harvest of what I've
mm.
kind of planted. So it's been good. It's been good. And just looking forward to so many things that I feel like God has just opened doors for me
Yeah.
for this year. And the book has been great. And I've also released a couple of more books that I'm what I want to call them, they're anthologies
Hmm.
where I've been contributing authors on. So yes, to your point, it has been a very busy year, and I've been able to use my gift of writing quite a bit in 2023. And as a author, it takes a while for things to really come forth. You could work on a project for 2 years or
Yeah.
anywhere from 6 months to 2 years before you really see that book come forth. So I have a lot of respect for authors because it's quite a bit of discipline
Yeah.
and work. But when the fruit comes forth, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. It's funny to hear you say that, Tracy, because I think a lot of people will have a lot of respect for individuals like yourself who are able to take a look inside,
Mhm.
to do that work on themselves, and then to be able to share that publicly with the world and help them to do their own work. What has that been like for you to know that something that is very personal to you has been so empowering to others by your sharing it?
It makes the pain that I went through worth it.
Mm,
And I believe, Cyrus, that when you're able to share the pain of your story or the challenges that we go through in life, when you're ready to share and help others, that's a sign that you've healed. And
mhm.
so I reflect back because that has not always been the case for me, having walked through a divorce after 24 years of marriage, and it took some time. In my book, I do talk about some of that journey in
Yeah.
my healing process. And I'm grateful as I reflect back that the book is helping so many women to be set free from relationship uh, issues, past things that they've been holding on to for many years. I had a person recently tell me that after reading my book, they realized that they had some issues related to um, someone that they had dated 20 years ago
Oh,
that
wow.
had just walked away. And they thought that they had processed that, but they realized that they hadn't. And so there's stories like that that just make me feel like, wow, this is so worth me sharing my scars. So I share my scars so
Mhm.
others can heal.
Yes, such a great point. Adrienne, hello to you. Good to be able to see you over there on the Facebook side. I see you guys over there on YouTube as well. If you guys have any questions or comments for Tracy Glasses, we're going throughout our conversation, feel free to be able to put those in the chat. We'll be glad to be able to bring those up for Tracy. To that point that you were just making, we're going to get into, of course, a lot of what you're going to be doing for this year, and that is being able to pour into others, especially
Mhm,
women, when it comes to your gift as a coach. I want to talk about something else about Get Up Girl, Let's Go. I have it highlighted there in the carousel for our audience on Amazon. You guys can get either the paperback as I have it, or you can get the Kindle edition as well there for only $5.99. So you can take advantage of that. The other thing I thought about too is that the idea of the title is
mhm,
that life will do what it's going to do sometimes, right? Some
mhm.
things are outside of our control. And I think that's one of the most difficult things for us to realize, is that we really control nothing outside of ourselves.
That is so true.
Yeah, but the idea of let's get up, let's go. I think that is the thing that is so inspiring about this book, is that you can be able to, no matter how many times you knock down, you can get up. And you
Yes.
have people like you, basically now being that person to say, let's get up, let's go. What has it been like for you to know that you can now be that for someone else? You talk about in the book about those that were there for you, but what is it like for you now to be there for others and to help them as they're kind of going through their own challenges in life?
That's so interesting because it's like a full circle, right? The
Mhm.
experience of, when I was going through my particular challenges, I never thought that I would become that person.
Mhm.
And so as I reflect back on it, I'm just, again, I'm grateful that I went through it. And it reminds me that God always has a plan for us, even in the midst of our challenges.
Mhm.
The Bible says he works all things out for the good. And so as I reflect on it, I see so much good even in the challenges. If I hadn't have gone through what I went through, Cyrus, I would have never written the book,
Mhm.
nor would I have become a life coach.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when I reflect on that, I think, wow, what would I have been doing? And I would not have been walking in my purpose. And so I think that that is the wonderful thing about pain and challenges, is that we can allow them to work for our good. We can make the decision and say, okay, for right now, it may be hard and may be challenging, but I still need to get up. I need to keep going, because there is more
Mhm.
that I have to do. There's more that I have to learn. There's more I have to give to others.
Right.
And we become, it's almost like I had to become relentless in that. It's an inward fighting that had to come out of me to say, I am going to survive. I am not going to allow this situation to destroy me. And so, really, the title, Get Up Girl, Let's Go, was a declaration that I had to tell myself.
Yeah.
We got to go forward, because life sure wants to keep us stuck, right, in a position of feeling hopeless, and that my situation and circumstances will never change. But that's not the truth.
Yeah. I want to say hello to Manswell as well. He's joining us over on Facebook. He says hello to you as well, Tracy. He
Hi,
also
Mansell.
challenges working for a good while. So I want to talk about something that's real. And it's
Mhm.
something I'm not a negative person, Tracy, as you know. And we appreciate you guys. Go ahead and getting your copy of A Get Up Girl, Let's Go over there on Amazon. I see you guys. So make sure you guys do also, when you get your book, make sure you write a review for Tracy as well. I know she'd love to hear from you. But here's the hard truth, and you kind of address this in Get Up Girl, Let's Go, Tracy. Everyone is not rooting for you to keep going.
That's
Everyone is
correct.
not,
Mhm.
but it's good now that you're in a position that you have people, who are not only, of course, wanting better, but also wanting to help others do better. So I want to talk about something you mentioned, that is you're being a coach. What has that been like for you to embrace that? Because just as you were saying earlier about becoming an author, what was it like for you to cross this new milestone now of going into coaching?
Um, in ways, very natural, because it's part of my personality. Even
Okay.
before I became certified, I was always the person that would be giving advice in some way.
Mm,
And so I think that, uh, again, people would come to me anyway. But I think that when you get to a point where you realize that I'm impacting people's lives, people's hearts and minds are in my hands in a way, right? As you're coaching them,
mm,
it's a greater responsibility and a weight, I think, that I carry for the people that I coach, because my job is to help them move forward in life and to achieve goals, for them to hope and to dream. And I often, I go to bed at night and I'm thinking about my clients. I'm praying
mm,
for them. I am thinking of things, powerful questions and exercises that I can do to help them move forward. So it's not just a job for me.
yeah.
It is something that I really love, and I'm invested in helping women in particular move forward in life. So it becomes a very personal thing too.
Yeah. And it all begins with a decision on the other person's part, right, Tracy? You and I were talking before we went live here. You've been able to be able to do, of course, individual coaching, but also group coaching, what you said is really, you feel like is your calling there. So talk to us about, for our audience out there who may be wondering, do I need a coach? Let them know, who would you say if someone was asking you, is a coach for me? What questions should they be asking themselves?
Good, great question. I think everybody needs a coach, Cyrus,
Mhm.
because I don't believe that we get to where we are destined to be without someone's support in
Mm.
life.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. If I look at even where I am now, somebody has coached me. I remember a woman when I was going through just my divorce, and I remember I was working with a coach, and she had me go watch a movie. And that was the movie, oh my goodness, it's with Tony Evans' daughter, um, The War Room. And she had me go watch the movie, and it was about a couple and their marriage falling apart. And I came back and I said, that's not my story. I mean, my marriage is not coming back together. She says, no, 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 no. I saw you as that older woman that was giving her advice, that was mentoring her and
Mm.
coaching. And that was in a season where I did not even see this, but
Yeah.
she was so right on. And I'll never forget that, because she helped kind of steer me in that direction of, I see you doing this for other women, being that voice of wisdom and support and just holding hope. And so, but along the way, there have been other people too that have spoke things into me. Doors have opened up for me where people have said, hey, come along. I want to teach you a couple of things. I want to show you a couple of things. And it's required me to say yes.
Mm.
Yeah, if I would have said no, I don't want to learn, or no, that's not me, I don't want to take a risk, then I would have missed out. And so, yeah, it's just been something, again, it's been very natural. I've enjoyed it, but it's been challenging too, where it stretched me. And at times I felt like, oh no, this is this is more than I can give. This is too much of a stretch for me.
Yeah.
But I realize now, Cyrus, that it was within the stretch, within that place where it's very hard, it's often the exact place where God would want us to be. And the place where we become more fruitful in life is in the stretch.
Love that. Chanel, hello to you. Going to be able to see you over there on Facebook. She says hello
Hi,
to you as
Chanel.
well. Tracy. So this brings up an interesting question. Again, an interesting correlation, Tracy, between your journey as an author, where you had to be able to discover your niche, what your niche was going to be, what that fit was. How did you discover what your niche was as a life coach? Because as I have found out in doing the show over the years, there are definitely different types of life coaches, even.
Mhm.
So how did you find out who the ideal client was for you to be able to work with?
Great question. I think it goes back to what I'm passionate about.
Mhm.
I love forming groups for women, meaning coaching groups. Although I do individual coaching, but where I really find that my strengths are is taking a group of women, small group of women, on a journey in a particular capacity. So with my book, Get Up Girl, Let's Go, I do have a course and it's called Unstuck Unlocking Your Potential. And that's what we do. So the book serves as the main curriculum, but each session, 12 session, there's a specific point and activation, what I call an activation, meaning it's not just reading materials, but how do we apply the information so that we can begin to see some type of transformation. So I just love that. I love seeing women be set free into their purpose, into who God has really called them to be. It is satisfying to me. It really is. And because I believe that each of us have such beautiful gifts. And I need your gifts, Cyrus. I do. You have a gift that I don't have, and I appreciate that. And you need other people's gifts as
Mhm.
well. And so I think the beauty of it is all of us coming together and recognize that we need each other. And how do I support you? And I love that. I love supporting women, and because eventually what happens, what I see happening and some of the women that I've mentored and coached is now they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So there was a season where they maybe were going through and they didn't see their potential, but now, oh boy.
Yeah.
And that is a satisfying feeling.
Love that. Hello to you, Ellen Sutter, joining us on LinkedIn. See you guys over there as well. Good to be able to see you. Ellen says, yes, that's a good, but thank you for that,
Thanks,
Ellen. I
Ellen.
definitely enjoyed it as well too. So to that point, then, and connecting these dots, Tracy, as we're having this conversation. For those who are just coming in, we're speaking today with Tracy Glass. You guys know, of course, as the author of this book, Get Up, Girl, Let's Go. That's available here on Amazon, both in paperback as well as a Kindle. I mentioned also her devotional. We have it in the carousel for you guys as well. For those who don't know about it, all things new. A perfect time for a devotional, beginning of a year. But we're talking to her not only about her journey as an author, but also as a life coach as well. What it's been like for her to be able to walk in her gifts and to help others along the way. So, what is, I think, for a lot of people when it comes to New Year's, they think about goal setting. What did you go into 2024, Tracy, thinking about as a goal for yourself?
Hmm. I did something different this year that I had never done before, or I should say in a while. And I
Mm.
created a vision board.
Ah.
And so right in my office, right over there, is my vision board.
Mhm.
And some of the goals that I have on it are simple. Because what I realize, Cyrus, is that when I create these big, audacious, hairy goals, they don't last. I become overwhelmed and they become great ideas, but they die.
Yeah.
And so this year I decided that I wanted to do small things and put them on my vision board. And one of my goals is like, I want to do more cardio in my workout. Well, why do I want to do more cardio? Because I realized that in order for me to lose the 10 pounds that I need to lose, I need to step up. I need to step it up and I need to burn more fat. And so, and I decided that that would only be one day. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so making it very tangible and very sustainable, because I feel like that's why our goals fall off is because they're not sustainable.
Yeah.
Good ideas, but not sustainable.
Yeah. I love that. And this, you bring up a really good point. I had this conversation with a friend of mine recently. I've been told, Tracy, that I play it safe with my goals. And I, I've always felt like, I've never been like a grandiose daydreamer, you know. But my goals are things that I know I can do the work to achieve.
Okay,
If I
give me
put
an
my mind to
example. Give me an example of one of
it.
your goals, Cyrus.
Yeah, okay, I can give you a really good one. So
Okay.
I went into 2024 with the goal of, you know what, I'm going to embrace what my what my audience wants, which is me being on camera more.
Oh,
So
okay.
I set up my 2024 beginning last year with that in mind, knowing I was going to be doing more of broadcasts like this because these perform very well from with my audience. And so that to me took a decision. I had to make a plan. I didn't knew there would be some trade-offs because that means less radio this year than I
Mm,
normally do.
mhm.
So that was a goal for me. Now to me, the whole purpose of a goal is to make it happen. you know, I know I wasn't gonna do any skydiving, Tracy.
Okay, okay.
So, but this is something like, you know what? If I do the work on this, I can make it happen. And so that to me is an example for me. But a lot of people think I should dream big, and I think, you know what? My life has enough big stuff right now. If I just set personal goals like that, I think I'm good.
Well, I think there's power in that, Cyrus, because
Mhm.
I believe that if we are faithful to execute on the small goals,
Yeah.
then that's given us a lot of practice for the big goals.
Hmm.
And I believe that God opens up the door for bigger things if we're faithful over the little things
Yeah.
in life. So I love that goal.
Yeah. And I tell you what else, and it ties into what you said, Trace, and I hope our audience gets this too. I think there is so much I think people get disappointed in themselves for no reason. And I'll
Mm,
tell you what I mean by that, in that they set a grandiose goal, I have no problem with anyone dreaming big. If your dream is to meet Barack Obama in 2024, hey, that's great. I'm rooting for you. But if you get to 2025 and it doesn't happen, you shouldn't feel bad that you didn't meet Barack Obama because I'm sure you did a lot of other things that were
right.
worthwhile. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people, right? They set this big goal, and if they don't reach it, they don't give themselves credit for the things they did do that may have
That's a
been
great
outside of
point.
the big goal. So I think for myself, I always said, you know what? Because I could have gone into this year without a plan and not even my goal that seems small. If I had not made the laid the groundwork and done the work, it still wouldn't have happened. And
Yes.
so I think that's my only thing with people who set really big goals is they don't sometimes give themselves the credit for the little things, quote unquote, that they do toward, making their lives better.
That is an excellent point. Um, it's like we achieve a goal and then we say next,
Yeah,
next.
yeah,
We jump, and without really spending the time to appreciate what not only what we've accomplished, but what we've learned
hmm,
as we have gone through that process of meeting that goal.
yeah. And I think Tracy, to that point, and Ella says so true. I think the other side of that is too, and our friends can be guilty of doing this to us too. If we don't do what they think should be the next thing for us,
Right.
then they discount what we have done. That could have been helping us move, further in our lives, both personally and professionally. So that's why I'm always very cautious about that and not trying to set this big thing and making that seem like the priority because I think sometimes that discounts all the other things that are right in front of us that we do that still require effort, but won't happen unless we do the work.
That is so true, Cyrus. And I think that we kind of live life with pleasing others,
Yeah.
right? And I think
Hmm.
that's an issue that I address a lot in coaching is we can become so disappointed because it's really not our goal, but it's somebody else's. It's really what someone else wants us to do and or be or become.
Right.
And one thing about coaching is understanding and becoming aware of ourselves.
Mm.
What is who am I today? Because often who we are can kind of change, especially with women. I think we change more than men,
Hmm.
but based upon what we go through, we change. And so it's really evaluating who am I in this season of my life and adjusting our goals and expectations according to that season that we're in. Oftentimes we might transition, but yet our body has transitioned, right, to a certain place, but our mind has
Yeah.
not caught up with that transition.
Yeah.
And then we become stuck and we become frustrated and wondering, why am I off balance? Why am I not focused? It's because we have to really function in where we are right now today in life.
Such a good point. I have a last thought here from Ellen. She says, Tracy, do you think that folks make goals just to look at them? Or do you think they don't know the sacrifices that had to be made? That's an interesting thing. Almost like a trophy. What do you think about that, Tracy? Do you think sometimes goals are more projections for other people than really something for themselves?
I mean, I think that's an excellent point, Ellen. But I really think the issue is people make goals with good intention. The problem that happens is that they don't know how to execute on the goals.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to move forward and achieve, because sometimes we need help. We need support
Mm-hmm.
to achieve certain goals. Like, I'll give you an example. I think we talked about this before. So on my vision board, I do want to lose 10 pounds. Okay, so I'm not good at certain things. I'm not good at working out. I'm weak in that area. And I recognize that as a flaw in me, that I just don't like it. So in that case, I need help. So how am I gonna do that? Well, either I'm gonna get a buddy, right, to help me walk, or I'm gonna hire a coach to help hold me accountable. And so it's recognizing I'm not strong at everything that I do. And so the areas that I'm weak, who can help me become stronger in that area? And so I really believe that that's really it. We need some support and help to make those goals happen, or we go into it too fast. We say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change. I'm going to stop smoking, or I'm going to stop eating this, or I'm going to stop negative thinking, or whatever our list may be.
Yeah,
And it's just not sustainable.
right.
We need to take things very slowly, I think, in bite-sized portions, and celebrate it in small segments of what we achieve. So I really believe that that's why people don't satisfy their goals.
Love that.
There's no
Well,
plan, real sustainable plan.
yeah. And that's why we're glad to have people like you, Tracy, be able to help them. Again, everyone, Tracy Glass has been our guest. Her book is Get Up Girl, Let's Go. It's available here on Amazon. But for those who are maybe needing that help with accountability, for those who may need that help in being able to reach their goals, Tracy is a great person to reach out to. So, Tracy, how can our audience stay connected with you?
Oh, great. Well, Facebook, I am Tracy Glass. Instagram, I am Tracy Glass. Or they can email me at tracy@tracyhester.com. And I recently got married, so my name has changed to Glass, and I'm getting everything switched over as we speak. But yeah, or also just direct message me. I love to have a conversation. I think, coaching and transformation is very personal. People like to talk with people to understand if it's a good fit. I do offer 20-minute inquiry sessions, which is to see if we would be a good fit.
Oh,
And
wow.
love to chat with you. That would be free. So let me know.
All right. Well, Tracy, always a pleasure being able to speak with you again. Make sure you guys get her book, Get Up Girl, Let's Go. Also, as I mentioned here on Amazon, you guys can get All Things New, her devotional as well. Make sure you all take advantage of that. And Tracy, looking forward to our next chat together.
All right. Thank you, Cyrus.
More than welcome.
Have a
We
wonderful day.
Hey, you as well. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. Again, if you guys are new to us here on Amazon, make sure you guys hit that follow button either here in this corner or down below. Also, of course, if you do add Tracy's book to your cart, don't forget to check out so that you can be able to start enjoying it now. Or, of course, you can one-click the ebook as well to go ahead and start reading that today. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb, saying thank you so much for being with us here at Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all take it easy. We'll see you soon.